A Universe in His Eyes, a short story written by me. Where have all the stars gone? That's a question he asked me far too often. He's rather intelligent like that. Notices and questions things others may not notice or question. This was a usual night for the two of us. Two friends in an abandoned playground shrouded in the shadows of the night. Darkened silhouettes of leafless trees fractured the skies into small pieces, the wind blowing our secrets into infinity. My eyes were closed as I let my consciousness drift into the universe. That's when he asked me that same question, as he always did. Where have all the stars gone? My eyes lifted up as my head tilted to the sky. I never realised how right he was until this question was asked regularly. The moon, full and round, watched over us menacingly, as if it knew the mischief we had been up to earlier that day. And yet, not even a single shimmer of starlight. A mutual friend of ours once suggested that the clouds could have been covering them, but tonight was one of those rare autumn nights where the sky was as clear as your own reflection. Alas, as the cold black nothingness stared down at my minuscule structure, I chuckled lightly, lying on the ice-cold tarmac, signalling for him to copy my actions. Now, a mere few feet apart, we lay in silence, the whistling wind bringing music to my ears. Our eyes were glued to the night sky, completely fixated. It was like we had been frozen in time, forever stuck staring into the night's void. That was when I finally decided to speak up, eyes still not moving away from the view. Have you ever noticed that sometimes there are hundreds of stars dotted around the sky? Or sometimes, if lucky, a meteor shower or an eclipse? It's like the sky's battling for our puny human attention. Other times, like tonight, there's nothing. It's like the whole universe is just too tired. Like everything and everyone who has ever existed just wants to sleep eternally. I felt his eyes linger on me as I spoke. Yet he knew me well, and he knew that if he were to interrupt, I would be pissed. So he let me continue. You always ask where the stars have disappeared to, and I'm never able to answer. It's like asking me what every person on Earth is doing. But that's when I realised a theory of mine. This world is too selfish, too jaded. What if we took the phrase stars in their eyes quite literally? Yet, at a different angle. Each star in the sky is a metaphorical reminder for all of us that we are all human. We all have the potential for good and bad, and that we should always decide to try and do good. On nights like tonight, well, I only hope that we don't need the stars around because majority of people did good. We proved to the universe that we are good and that good is enough. Where do you think they go then? He finally spoke up again, and I was finally able to pull my eyes away from the sky. I turned my head to face him as he were me. The moonlight illuminated his pale skin, resembling a porcelain doll. His curls unhinged as the wind blew loose hair from his face, reminding me that we were in fact outside, and not in some fictional world I manifested in my mind. There was a calmness in his face, a tranquil sorrow. He had a hidden pain that, at the time, he was keeping from me. Then there was his ocean eyes, large and dopey and soft and kind. A twinkle caught me off guard, and I couldn't help but smile. I think I just found them. He looked away, rosy from embarrassment, trying to hide a smile of his own. As we both turned back to the sky, I shut my eyes and felt my soul elevate. Since he died 2 years ago, I don't go out much anymore. I imagine our abandoned playground, rusted and withered with ivy wrapping around everything. I sleep a lot during the day and I stay up all through the night. The shadows of the night still comfort me. They remind me of him. Not that I need reminding, because he's still with me in his own celestial way. I always replay that specific night, because that was probably the last time I saw him smile. I still hear his voice in my head, asking me where the stars disappeared to. Sometimes when I look up, there are hundreds of stars in the sky, and I feel horrible. Like humanity has failed the existence of living. Like humanity has failed him. Sometimes I look up at the dead sky and chuckle to myself. The moon, full and round, watches over me solemnly, missing the mischief. However, every time, even when the sky is empty and pure, there's always one star that keeps shining on. No matter where I am, I always see it. I always see him. Where have all the stars gone? I heard his voice echo in the back of my mind. I sat on the window ledge and looked up. There it was, shining brighter than any light I had ever seen. The most beautiful image in the world. It would even put Van Gogh to shame. The only star I cared about. They're with you, I whispered to myself.